emphasis is when you highlight certain elements to draw attention to them, okay? In print design, this might be like adding an underline under the title or something like that to really draw attention to it. But this is another area where you get to have control over how your music is written, and you get to control, if you decide to share it with a listener, what your listener is going to pay attention to and what they're going to notice about your music, okay? So you as the songwriter have a lot of power here because you get to draw your listener's attention to the importance, to the elements that are important to you, whether it's a particular melody, a lyric, or an instrumental part, okay? So we've already talked before about how like repetition and balance kind of let your audience sink into it because they know what's coming. And in a song, the default setting is usually that the instruments and voices are typically mixed at about the same level, right? And it's usually good to kind of start your song that way in order to just kind of give a general presentation of like, it lets the audience get a feel for what you're doing, right? But building emphasis means making a change to what was expected, so that you can draw your audience's attention to an element of your choosing. So for example, could one instrument, if you really wanted to highlight what a guitar is doing, could that sound rise above others in the mix? If you are writing a song with lyrics in it, maybe would you be interested in emphasizing your lyrics a little bit by softening the other instruments, like making them a little bit lower in volume? So one example that I can think of this, of emphasizing your lyrics, I think of like Celine Dion and My Heart Will Go On. And there's this part, I'm not going to try to sing it, but there's a part where like the instruments cut out and it's just her voice. Like that is so much emphasis, right? And it's because she had like a nice, well-balanced mix of sound and then cut out the instruments where there's only one thing to pay attention to. And because of the element of contrast that we already discussed, her voice just, it rings out that much louder, is that much more of an impact. And that is a way of, emphasizing your lyrics. Another way is changing the way a sequence is repeated, such as extra notes or a key chain. Okay, so for example, you know what? My Heart Will Go On, I think, is another example of this. Where, for the first part of the song, she sings kind of low, right? And then isn't there like a really big key change? I think it's been a while since I heard the song, but fantastic. Thanks, Dave. I'm glad you like my charts, my visuals. So like any kind of a key change is like a break from what's typical, what's been normal in the song. And that's another way to do that. And actually another example that I thought of for emphasizing your lyrics is Bryan Adams, Everything I Do It For You. When he sings at the end, like, die for you, he gets like his voice takes over and the instruments fall away and he's emphasizing his voice and it's all you can hear, and it's such a powerful way to add that extra element of tension, I guess, that ends up getting released when the music comes back in. So at any rate, okay, so that is emphasis.